What's up, squad? Back with another video. Seeing the title's going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it in the title. Let me before we get in this video, I always say, and I've been saying, I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in, and watching my videos and sharing them and liking them and leaving comments and everything. I don't know exactly what's going on within my channel. I know a lot of y'all have been saying that comments have been deleted. Likes have been taken away that y'all been liking. I don't know what's going on within my videos. If y'all haven't seen, it has gotten so crazy and so messed up that I go from having this high views to extremely low. Yesterday, I looked and they were, doing, okay at first, with getting spread out and things like that. But, I woke up, our video was at like 5K and the other one was at like 3K. And I had a bunch of, likes, a bunch of comments, and I was just confused. I was real confused by it. But one thing that, I'm going to continue to do is, try to continue to put out this information and put out what I need to put out, for y'all to see, because it's definitely important. But you already know, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate every single last one of y'all for everything that y'all do for myself and my family. Like I said, the love that y'all give, the things y'all spread out, I definitely, thank y'all, for a lot. But y'all have it here. There's a lot of people, and this is from a post from New York Post. There's a lot of people, bro, that are mad. When I say mad, it's been on. I feel like this right here, and I'm glad I was at my grandmother's house and was watching the news. And I start seeing on how many people are so mad, about this, of course, about, the food stamps and all of that. And seeing how many people are mad about it. I feel like this right here, I feel like so many people didn't really pay attention to it as much. I really, truly feel like a lot of people didn't wasn't really, when they talked about the shutdown, people, they blew it off. But as soon as they talked about, and it's sad that I even have to say this because I feel like a lot of people even wasn't paying attention when, these workers wasn't getting paid. And obviously some people were, or the military wasn't getting paid. But I feel like as soon as they mentioned that food stamps and they were getting cut off, I feel like so many more people paid attention to that. And they're starting to see, what, they're about, with the left. I'm watching what I'm saying, y'all. I'm trying to get these videos out. But y'all have it right here. New York Post, they don't give a chuck. I'm telling y'all. You got here, this is a post from John Fetterman. It says, I am a Democrat. I voted yes. Our government should be open. Pay our military, federal workers, and Capitol Police. It shouldn't be controversial. And that's a post by John Fetterman. Y'all can go check this out. This is another post by John Fetterman. It says here, walking to work, I witnessed World Central Kitchen feeding federal workers in front of the Department of Transportation. Absurd is come to this when our government should be open. Pay everyone for their hard work. Feed everyone, open the government, country over party. And that's what they don't understand. If you do not know what World Central Kitchen is, this is Marco. He's going to tell you, what's going on, within this. Check it out.
Hi, everyone. This is Marco from World Central Kitchen checking in from Northwest DC, where we have opened up our second distribution site, serving delicious meals to federal employees and their families who have been impacted by the U.S. government shutdown. We know that there is a community of furloughed federal employees and also employees who are currently working right now without a paycheck due to the government shutdown. And so this is our way of giving back to that community by serving a hot, delicious meal during this difficult time. So if you're a federal employee or a family member that is in need of a meal, be sure to come by Northwest DC here at the U.S. Navy Memorial Plaza from 11 to 2, and we'd be happy to serve you.
I'm telling you, and I definitely want to say that I'm truly grateful that you have amazing people. You do have amazing people that are doing things like this. There are a lot of people that I've been seeing that are trying their best, to help out with individuals. If you do know anybody, in need of that, of that help, whether if it's a neighbor, and I know that it's been pretty bad. If you could help or anything like that. Definitely, it truly, wouldn't hurt. I always love, within giving back, to people. It's definitely amazing to do that. And I thank the Lord, that there's individuals that and places and corporations that, can definitely do this. This is another post by John Fetterman. It says, our workers are forced to get a loan just to get by. As a Democrat, this stalemate doesn't feel like support for working families to me. End the shutdown or own the fallout. So you literally have here is having this post, federal workers take out $328 million in bank loans amid shutdown. It's pretty insane, y'all. It definitely is insane. It's definitely sad, that people have to, take out loans and go through, different situations because they're not able to, pay bills, feed their families and things like that, within this shutdown. And it's definitely messed up. It's right here, is John Fetterman on Fox News. Says just delivered an epic response to the radicals in his own party after being asked about a potential primary challenges. Check it out.
Because you take a few positions that don't toe the line. They're talking about when your cycle comes up, they want to primary you. What is your response to them?
I really, I'm not afraid of telling the truth. As I've said, I'll be the Democrat that refuses to lie to the base and pretend that this is right. I'm proud to stand with Israel. I'm proud to say that we need to secure our border. I think it's entirely appropriate to bomb the Iranian nuclear facilities. And now I refuse to call my fellow citizens as they're fascists or Nazis or those things. I will agree also that we must keep our government open. And if somebody wants to primary me or the party wants to vote me out, it's like I'm going to go down being honest and telling you that this is wrong to do these kinds of things, and I refuse to do that.
One thing about it is that I definitely love the simple fact that John Fetterman is one, obviously in that party that, is speaking up on things like this. I love, even going to show people, that it's one of those things, you have that wrong and you have that right. They obviously see that they're clearly in the wrong with it. They obviously look, and I was just talking to my grandmother about this. And the thing is, we were talking about it and, and y'all know, we come from a Democratic Party, my family. I come from a Democratic, family technically. And my grandmother, her being, a Democrat, and, we were talking, and it's like, she was telling me, and I was telling her, like, I can't stand it. We was talking about the shutdown or whatever. And she was agreeing with everything that I was saying. And I got happy because it's like, now you're starting to get it. Now you're starting to get what, left is about, what things. And, she was understanding, and I'm telling her, like, it's not cool, that they look so much of giving everything and trying to look more so out for, illegal aliens rather than, the American people. And she agreed with everything, that I was talking about. And it just made me happy. And I want to, tell y'all that because there are a lot of people that are truly waking up to what's going on. This is Chuck Schumer getting triggered, by questions. After a reporter asks what happens when SNAP runs out, what's going on, within, everything, within SNAP. One thing about it is that Chuck Schumer, he didn't take that well. Check it out.
Irrespective of the dispute on whether USDA contingency funds can be used for SNAP benefits.
It is not, wait a minute, excuse me. It is not a dispute. It is fact they can use it, and the Republicans say it.
Okay, but there's, only 5 or 6 billion, and it's not cost $8 billion monthly just to administer. I mean, if anything, it would only last.
It does not cost 5 or 6 billion to administer. There's enough money to start feeding people right away. 6 billion's a lot of money, and they're using it for other things. 20 billion for Argentina, hundreds of millions for Kristi Noem's plane. Who are we kidding here? Yes.
What happens once it runs out? If it only lasts 2-3 weeks, do Democrats fold then?
The bottom line is they can fund it just as in 2019, just as in other shutdowns, for a long period of time.
And they also give the contingency fund, which is $6 billion, which gets you nearly a month, 3 weeks. runs out, then they can pass Senator Lujan or Senator Hawley's bill, both of which we support. We know that there'll be 60 votes for that. Why aren't they calling it up? They're not calling it up because the House isn't here to pass it. That's the way it works. The House would have to come here. They probably would have to vote on the Epstein files, but they're choosing to let kids go hungry instead of having to vote on the Epstein files. There's no doubt about it. They have been out for 6 weeks on vacation.
Just think, if they have all this money.
They're literally lying and saying everything they can to blame everybody else for something that they're continuing to do.
For Argentina,
That is insane.
and all this money for other things, they have enough money to keep funding SNAP, and they know it. And I just want to say what Lujan said. Johnson just lies. He lied about on immigration, on the undocumented. He's lying about this. He just outright lies, plain and simple. It is not illegal, and his own president has done it. Yes.
Are talks ticking up as been indicated? Is there any conversation, any negotiation whatsoever happening behind the scenes? And if so, can you enlighten us on
Yeah, there are occasional talks between Democrats and Republicans on this issue, but our Republican colleagues don't seem to be offering anything different than what their leadership has had so far. We hope that will change. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. Understanding what you're saying about Republicans' options here for SNAP and the contingency fund, are you saying Democrats have no responsibility for the fact that
We are saying
Exactly.
the
And then that's how you know they try to cover up everything, because she can't even get the question out without him interrupting.
We are saying the Republicans can fund it now, and they're using these people as hostages. Plain and simple. Next. That's the answer. The answer is they can fund it right now. Okay? Right now.
One thing about it is that I'm honestly, I don't know about y'all, but dude he's really getting annoying. He's really getting annoying, and I don't see how people aren't annoyed with this individual. He is. I'm not even gonna lie. And I said I gotta watch what I say, but he is a disgusting individual for the things that he's saying, for the things the way he's acting. He's acting very childish about this whole thing. I'm telling y'all, acting very childish. Says here, things just got worse for Chuck Schumer. A member of his own party just turned on him and demands he reopen the government. Check it out.
Well, I think it doesn't solve the health insurance problem, the premium problem. I think what's a very fair deal and is open the government and let's just vote on extending these premiums for a year or more. Well, I don't understand what's so hard about that. And by the way, Senator Thune has offered that, I believe. He said we'll have he offered up a vote that we can actually have a vote on extending these premiums. I think when put to it, you're going to see Democrat and Republicans, senators and congressmen and women want to vote for that. Why would you not want to vote to extend help with these tax credits, get premiums down for people? People are getting hurt right now in their pocketbooks. They're really need help. So why not give them some help?
All right, let's move to.
Definitely. I'm telling y'all. One thing about it is that I know for a fact that there's a really, really big chance that Democrats, are about to cave. I'm not even gonna lie. This is, says here, the largest federal worker union, which endorsed Kamala Harris. Check out what's said here, y'all.
This whole fiasco need to be resolved. It need to be ended. And people need to do their job, right? And if people are doing their job, guess what? America wouldn't be hungry. Guess what? Federal employees wouldn't be standing in lines to get food. People just need to do their job.
So is your message right now to Democrats in the Senate open to reopen the government and then get back to work? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I'm saying that the American workforce should be at work providing the services for the American people, and in the process, they should get paid because they're just like the rest of America. 65% of America live from paycheck to paycheck. And when these employees are providing the services for the American people, they should get paid so that they can make sure that a single mom that I've talked to over the course of the last few weeks that need to make sure that they have child care taken care of. They need medication, mortgages are due, they need gas to put in their car to go to work. So sure, I'm saying that it needs to be resolved, and it needs to be resolved now.
There it is. I'm telling y'all.
This
As y'all heard, question, It's saying, is your message right now, to Democrats, open to reopen the government, then get back to work. Y'all heard what he said. Absolutely. I'm telling y'all, a lot of people are, I'm telling y'all, are within this. And it's going to show y'all. And just like I was, telling my grandmother, telling, some of my family members, today, that one thing about it is that people got to realize of what's truly going on. People got to realize what's truly going on. And that's why I'm so glad, of what I do and, the information that I put out, because there are a lot of individuals, that are just now, paying attention to what's really truly going on. Says here, this is a former Democrat, Andrew Yang, just called out Chuck Schumer for choosing the wrong fight at the worst possible time. Check it out.
If I'm the Dems, I'm like, look, we've taken a stand, but we're not going to let families starve. Chuck Schumer, in March, kept the government open for this very reason. And then he took a blasting from the base of his party that he had to show fight. But this is not the fight, because you have millions and millions of Americans who are on the edge right now. And everyone at home knows what I'm talking about. You're on the edge right now, and a lot of them are getting pushed off the precipice by the shutdown.
Veterans, kids, I mean, it's all
air
kinds of
traffic
people.
controllers, you
That's
name
right.
it.
Yeah. That's right.
If I'm the Dems, I'm like...
Definitely. I'm telling y'all, it's all right there. It's all right here. One thing about this, though, y'all, and I wanted to, show this video definitely, because this just goes to explain, if everything, about, what's going on, and on top of that, it's just going to show you of, and again, these are things that I try to do each and every day, to get out to people that this is who they truly are. People that want to use and that's so brainwashed, when it comes to different things. This is who they truly are. This is John Kennedy, literally showing and telling everyone, a big truth, about the Democratic Party. Check it out.
Yes, and I listened to your monologue, Sean, with all of these different characters. I thought to myself, even duct tape can't fix stupid. I don't know Miss Wallace. I watched her a little bit. I remember when she worked for President Bush. I suppose she's not as bad as some members of the liberal media, but that's faint praise. That's like it's like being the smartest person on The View. I'm going to give Ms. Wallace the benefit of the doubt and assume that she said what she said right after her morning beer. The Democrats have accused the President Trump of everything except abandoning his children to wolves. They daily call him a racist and a Nazi. The Democrats are angry. They're angry for two reasons. They're angry because President Trump won the election.
Definitely.
The American people spoke. My Democratic colleagues need to just drink a big old glass of get over it and let's move on. They're mad, number two, they're mad that the American people are mad about the shutdown. It was so needless. I voted 13 times to open government back up. The Democrats have voted 13 times to keep it shut down. They don't want to pay food stamps. They don't want to pay the military. They want to use this as leverage to gain more money to spend. Senator Schumer, my colleague, eagerly, greedily wanted to become the face of the shutdown. I was looking at a poll today of what the American people think of Senator Schumer. It was an Economist YouGov poll, which is very left of center. The American people, in the American people's opinion, Senator Schumer he's a wet match in a dark cave. He polls right up there with clubbing baby seals. He's got a 30% approval rating, a 60% disapproval rating, and 10% of folks polled just didn't want to pause their video games to answer. It's not working. The American people may not read Aristotle every day, but they get it. This is not a policy shutdown.
I'm telling y'all, it's literally all right there, y'all. It's all right there for everyone to see. Like I said, it's so many individuals that's actually waking up and seeing what's truly going on within this. And I'm definitely glad. I'm truly glad that there are individuals that are paying attention. There are individuals that truly are seeing, who they are, and what they're for and what they're doing, to the American people, and who they are, put in first. And it's obviously, again, not the American people. So they're truly seeing that. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know y'all comments and thoughts on this video. Stay tuned for the next video dropping tonight. Catch y'all next one.